I, Larry, can't tolerate that vulnerability, so I get mad at you. But in my reaction, I do the very thing that he was desperately trying to avoid.
Mm.
You disappoint me.
Oh my God. Can I run something past you? Can I be your
Yeah,
guinea pig for a minute?
please.
Okay. My 16-year-old, I'll give you just sort of the flavor. A couple months ago, he came to me and he's like, "Hey, I really want to like level up my confidence a little bit. I want to stop overthinking things. I want to be able to just use my instincts a little bit better. And I'm not really sure how to do that." He's like, "Have you interviewed anybody or can you recommend any books to read?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Actually, I just finished the book Relentless by Tim Grover." I was like, "It is fantastic about that mindset." And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Well, tell me about it." And I did. And he's like, "That sounds amazing." He's like, "How long is the book?" I was like, "It's 223 pages." He's like, "Ugh." I was like, "Listen," I was like, "I'll tell you what. Do you really want to read this book?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, well, what if we did it together?" I was like, "I'll read it again." I was like, "And I'll tell you what, I'll financially incentivize you to read the book." So he and I sat down and we agreed upon a schedule, a weekly check-in every single Monday. So the day that we were supposed to do the final check-in, I went down to his room at 9 o'clock at night and I go to bed early and I'm like, "Hey man, are you done?" I was like, "Cause we need to do this check-in." And he goes, "No, I haven't really read." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, today's the day." I was like, this was our agreement, and today's the day." And I was like, "How many more pages do you have to read?" And he just kind of took this deep breath and he's like, "I'm pretty far behind." And I'm like, "How far behind?" He goes, "I haven't read the book in a month." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he's like, "I haven't read the book in a month." I was like, "Dude, we've done three check-ins." Like, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, I only got through half the book." And I was like, "So you were dishonest? Like the last three check-ins, you were dishonest. Like you told me you read and you didn't. You've told me you've been reading this whole time. You haven't." And he's like, "Yeah." And I got pissed. I was like, "Dude," I was like, that, that is disheartening. And I looked at him and I said something and I apologized for it the next day. I go, "I gave you way more credit than you probably should have gotten." I was like, "I'm really disappointed." And I walked out of his room and I was like, "God bless." That was a level of guilt and shame that I grew up with. I never said it. I apologized to him the next day. He apologized as well. And but I was very angry. And looking back on that, judging by what you're saying, I think for me it was fear. It was
Mm,
like I got scared, to be
right.
honest. I wasn't angry. I was actually scared because I'm like, "Wait a second." I was like, "Am I raising somebody who's dishonest?" And of course, the answer to that is no. He was being a typical boy. But I was like, and then I started being scared of like, well, what else is he telling me that's not true? Or what else is he gonna tell me that's not true? And it boiled up like all these feelings of like absolute fear and stress. And it came out in
Right.
anger.
Sure.
So can you break that down for me of
Yeah, well,
what
firstly,
happened?
thank you for sharing, right? So honestly about this interaction with your son, right? This process. I'll try and tell you how I what I hear you tell me through the lens that I hear it. So your son really loves you, you really love your son, right? Because that's true. There's only two questions people are ever really asking each other in love. You think you're talking about a book, but there's only two questions ever. Are you there for me? Am I enough for you? You actually set up the "are you there for me" to your son question. You want to do this thing? Let's set up a way that you will actually show up. But it's basically, are you there for me? Now, because you are so important to your son, and that is so important to be there for you, right? Your son now is left with the question, am I going to be enough for you? Right. And it's overwhelming. It's freaking like you are everything, right? Literally, you and mom are everything. And so now this has been set up that the reading of this book and the way we've structured it, this isn't about the book. This is an existential because our attachment bond is so important. If you don't read the book, you're going to disappoint me. You're not here for me. If I don't read the book, I will be a disappointment. How does someone show up to read the book? It's overwhelming. It's huge. It's too big. It's too big. And so now when he doesn't read the book, it's happening. He's not here. I can't trust he's really here in a way that I can feel safe. And he's an extension of me. And if he's not honest, he's not going to read. Bad things are going to happen. And I can't tolerate, right? I, Larry, can't tolerate that vulnerability. So I get mad at you. But in my reaction, I do the very thing that he was desperately trying to avoid. You disappoint me.
Oh my God.
Right. So he now feels the very thing. The
Yeah.
reason I couldn't deal with reading the book, I was trying to put off being a disappointment to my dad. And all the things I did to not feel it, it's actually come down like a ton of bricks now. I really am a disappointment. You poor, poor people. You guys love each other so much, and you ended up like every two people that love each other got stuck in this dynamic where now we're asking these questions and both of us look like the answer is no from the other person. How sad for both of you. Now, like if that was two grown-ups, it help you be there for each other, but you're the dad. He's the kid. We can't expect the kid to show up to meet the most deep emotional needs of the dad. Now, if you don't mind me saying, right? So you like, like it's great for the kid and the dad to understand what happened, but it's really should only be a one way. Hey, listen, I get it. I got scared you weren't there, and the way I longed for you to be there, I couldn't tolerate my vulnerability. I got mad at you, and I actually told you you weren't enough for me. You're a disappointment. I don't trust you'll be enough in the future. And I see how I hurt you. And you did that, right? You got it, right? And that's what I always say. The magic in relationship and parenting is not in doing it right. It's in the repair. And so you did it, right? And the only reason you felt the vulnerability and you got angry is because you freaking love the shit out of him. You love him so much.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
But anyway, so that's how when I hear what you said, that's how I hear what happened. What's it like to hear me reflect it back to you?
Dead on. And I wish I would have talked to you right before I went in his room. But it's absolutely dead on. And, man, what I'll tell you, you got me speechless because you unpacked that so well that I almost feel like there's nothing left to say on my side, except for that was dead on, every single bit of it.